Welcome to Hoops Zooted, the show that combines your two favorite things, weed and basketball. Pack a ball and grab a seat as Evan rambles on about this team he's loved for the past 40 plus years.
My mom only cares when I'm on TV. My dad only cares that I make money. I just smoke trees every day and night. I don't give a fuck if I'm doing it right.
Welcome to episode 25 of Hoops Zooted. Keeping those expectations low is the title of this one. Yep, we're just running along, just trying to get through the rest of this season, trying not to get too excited, trying not to get too disappointed. Just keep those expectations low so we don't get too upset over anything. So anyway, since the last time I've seen you, I took last week off just after that disappointing loss to the Warriors. I just didn't feel like recording. So I said, what the hell? Let's take a week off. There's only 2 games this following week. So we had a Monday and a Friday this week. Felt like forever in between the 2 games too. So anyway, we've had 5 games since the last time I've talked to you. And we went 3-2 over that stretch. And we've been 5-4 for March. Just barely over 500 here for March. We had a good February, but March kind of had a little bit of a setback here in March. And this is crunch time. After tonight's game, we've got 12 games left. So yeah, no time for fucking around anymore. So anyway, to recap, the game since the last time, we had a win over the Timberwolves, 120-109. That was, with the asterisk that there was no Cat, no Gobert in that game. So, we did get that win, but that does have to be mentioned. They weren't at full strength. So, still a good solid win. It was nice to get that. But then we followed that up with a 120-107. 107-120, I should say. That's our end is the 107. Lost to the Kings, the dirty, rotten Kings, and they have swept us for the season. Now, I could go on and on about the matchup and all the troubles that AD has with Sabonis, but just a disappointing loss overall. And then we follow that up with another disappointing loss, 121-128 to the Warriors. So yeah, that's why I didn't do a pod last Saturday, because after that I don't feel like doing one this week. That's the advantage of being your own boss. Can work when you want to. So anyway, just trying to get through the last of the season here. And yeah, but thankfully we bounced back here, with a really nice win over the Hawks. First blowout win. Well, first serious blowout win. I shouldn't say that. We did blow out the Pelicans in the in-season tournament, and I think we've had a couple other blowouts, but like this felt like just such a commanding, like dominating blowout over the Hawks. And 136-105 was the final. So that was nice. And like all the DeJounte Murray truthers, they had to be quiet because we did get the better of them for that night again. So anyway, it's nice to get that. And then tonight played the Sixers for a little bit of revenge, and in an ugly, really kind of playing down to our competition kind of game, we squeaked out the win 101-94 over the Sixers tonight. So yeah, like I said, that's 3-2 for this week, 5-4 for March. Could be better. But it is what it is. So anyway, yeah, I guess I've kind of gotten a little ahead of myself here. I haven't even told you what I'm smoking here tonight, or even taken a hit. Yeah, just did my recap already, but yeah. So I'm smoking a little bit of Cloud Walker. No particular reason. I guess I just would like to, get up in the clouds here to kind of forget about the mediocrity of this month. So let me take a couple hits here and take a little break here and play a little bit of music, and I'll get back here. See you in a minute. That's a little better. Okay. So I've given you a recap of the week. On to the other reason I didn't really talk last week was the other craziness that went on last week was D'Lo's little article with McMenamin. And a big part of me, like, when that article came out, I was pretty happy. I was happy with D'Lo. I was glad that he was airing this out. And it was right before the Kings game. I kind of liked the timing of that and was hoping that it would kind of motivate things, and of course didn't work out like that. That's is what it is, unfortunately. But I don't think it was any ill intent with any kind of how this was done and how this was dropped. I think there's a lot of people, I see a lot of people on the timeline talking about like acting like either D'Lo or McMenamin was trying to sabotage this. And I don't think you understand how a lot of this works with journalism. A story like that is probably something that they've been working on for a while. And, there might have even been a deadline that was, predetermined by the publisher. And, that's what made it drop before the Kings game. So blaming either McMenamin or D'Lo is kind of a little off base. And either way, it's not like either of them did that to sabotage the team. They're just simply, both, doing their McMenamin's doing his job, doing a report and writing an article, and D'Lo was doing his job, just answering the questions and being honest about them. And he had a lot of choice things to say about Ham and and Dennis, and you know, that whole relationship. You know, like he kind of confirmed, you know, what we all thought, that favoritism between Ham and certain players is an issue. So, you know, I think a lot of people are overreacting. Um, you know, it was unfortunate that, of course, you know, comes out in the Kings game and D'Lo has a shitty game. You know, that just optics wise, that looks bad. But it's, you know, I think it's, you know, I chalk it up to, you know, just more of just having, you know, a bad luck and bad coincidence than it is to the article itself doing that. I think that's a little bit of a stretch, you know. Now possibly, you know, because I think that, you know, a lot of people think that, you know, these players, you know, are like we were when we were playing high school and middle school, and seem to forget that these guys do this for a job, and you know, they can handle this a lot better than I think we give them credit for. So yeah, anyway, like, you know, that article, it is what it is. You know, I'm glad it was said, because, you know, this stuff with Ham does need to be exposed, because it is an issue, and you know, we're going to have to do something in the off season to address it, you know, whether he stays or goes. um you know, and things have gotten a little better, you know, like it seems in press conferences he's slowly communicating a little better with players, but it still seems like he's quite stubborn in some ways. And it is what it is. I mean, you know, if we make an early exit here, you know, in the play-in, you know, or don't even make the playoffs at all and have a slide here late, like, yeah, like I think there's a good chance he gets fired. But you know, I don't think any of us are rooting for that at all. Um, so yeah, it is what it is. You know, like we just that's why we're keeping our expectations low. It's, you know, it's best that way. Like if something good happens, we can celebrate, be happy, you know, and then if something bad happens, you know, we knew this shit was gonna fall apart anyway. At least that's how I'm dealing with it. You know, deal with it however you got to deal with it. You know, I'm not going to tell anybody how to fan. I'll say that over and over. I try my best not to tell anybody how to fan. You know, we all bitch and moan about certain things, but yeah, like be a fan how you're going to be a fan, I guess, you know. So, but anyway, that moves me on to my next topic. Just when I thought Ham couldn't get any freaking dumber. Um, you know, not only did the article confirm his favoritism with Dennis last season, he had a quote after the Kings game. And actually, yeah, I need to take another hit before I say this quote. Like, you know, I probably should have like actually, you know, recorded the soundbite of the quote and just played it so I could take a hit. But like, anyway, you're just gonna have to be patient with me. You know, I need another hit before I take this, before I say this quote to you, because this fucking quote, good fucking God, man, holy shit. Just hold on a second. So anyway, his quote, quote unquote, I wish I could tell Mike Brown, when you play offense, just let us know what you're going to run so we can stop it. And if you didn't hear that, let me repeat that for you again. Quote unquote, I wish I could tell Mike Brown, when you play offense, just let us know what you're going to run so we can stop it. So, like, you're basically begging the press for the other team's coach to let you know the fucking play so that you could stop getting your ass kicked. Oh my god! Like, heaven help us all. Like, what have you done, Jeannie? What have you done, Rob? Like, what have you done? Like, I really didn't think it was going to be worse. Like, these Darwinisms, like, they keep piling up, and just when I think they can't get any worse, like, he says something like that, like, just how how do you, like, I can understand, like, there are those people that just, like, don't have a filter or whatever, and just say whatever they want, but like, that could be maybe something you're, because, like, that seems like something you're saying to your buddies, if, like, after you've had like 3 or 4 beers, like, fucking around, like, you don't say that shit to the press. Like, what the fuck? What is he doing? Oh, like, I think that's the problem. He doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know what he's doing. Oh my god. Oh my god. Again, I wish I could tell Mike Brown, when you play offense, just let us know what you're going to run so we can stop it. Unfucking believable. Yeah, I need another hit. Like, Jesus Christ. This dude is killing me, man. I don't know about the rest of you. Like, I see there's still a few people that are, like, defending him, a few people that are jokingly defending him, like, at least that's a little different. I can understand the difference of somebody jokingly defending him and somebody seriously defending him. So, the jokingly I could handle. The seriously, I'm like, what the fuck are you still doing over there? Excuse me a sec. Oh man, I tell you, and it's gotten to the point even where, like, I'm sick of myself complaining about him. I complain about him so damn much that, like, I'm sick of hearing myself, like I'm in my own head, just shut up, Evan. you we've done this enough. We've beat this fucking horse to death, man. Like, we have flogged this fucking dead horse for weeks now, and obviously nothing's going to be done. It is what it is. But I just had to get those last few hits in, I guess. God damn it. Flog this fucking horse some more. Oh, fuck you, Darvin. Fuck you, Darvin. Fuck you, Darvin. If we win, it will be despite you, not because of you. I'm just going to keep saying that. So, anyway, I think that's a good segue into, my next subject, because I think, you know, it's this mind virus has infected even me a little bit, you know, and you know, I love this game, but like, you know, why do so many basketball fans, especially NBA fans, just hate the game? You know, KD, he said it himself, you know, NBA fans don't like anything about the NBA, and it's weird. You know, that's quote unquote, that was one of his tweets. And, you know, he's so fucking right. He is so goddamn right. You know, so many fans spend so much time complaining about the game and today's players. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, there are hordes of just haters of the game, you know, old head haters, young head, younger generation haters. I mean, it's out of control, man. Like, just, do you not love this game? Do you not love this game? I guess NBA needs to bring that slogan back. Like, I love this game. We grew up on that, you know. And like, you know, a lot of us truly do love this game. You know, a lot of us like still play it. A lot of us, you know, are really dedicated to this game. You know, and some are super dedicated to this game still. And you know, at some people, they seem more dedicated to their agendas and their hate than they are to this game. And like, man, it's, you know, whether it's the younger generation talking about we're done with the 90s, you know, or old heads just saying, you know, fuck today's game, you know, it just gets fucking exhausting. Like, why do you guys hate this game so much? Like, I just don't understand it. I don't understand. Um, you know, I do understand, you know, a lot of the, you know, competition, confrontational kind of stuff of that. And I like a lot of that. I love a lot of the good smack talk, good banter, but man, just the negativity. And, you know, maybe it's just been so amplified just because the Lakers have had so many bad seasons in a row here. But man, it just feels like the negativity has just been so amplified, and just like, and I guess maybe also for me it's just been kind of a revelation this year of like, I just can't unsee it anymore. Like, yeah, like, so many of you, you know, are just, man, you're over the top, man. Oh, but you know, I guess, you know, I try not to tell you how to be fans, but like, man, like, do you like what you're doing? Like, is it not exhausting, like, every day to be coming out here and like just spewing all this anger and venom everywhere, and just, you know, all these agendas, and you know, like, you know, I love a good, you know, a good basketball argument, a good heated argument. There's nothing wrong with that. But like, man, it just seems like so many people, you know, love the heated argument and the nastiness and the toxicity way more than they like the game itself. And yeah, I'm just, hey man, you know, maybe get out and, you know, don't just touch some grass, get out and, you know, put some shots up, man. Like, you know, get back into, you know, what remind yourself of what made you love this game, you know, even if you're not playing a game, you know, like, because yeah, I don't play in pickup games anymore, because like, you know, at 52, about to turn 53 here in a few months, like, you know, yeah, want my old creaky bones in there. And, I also walk dogs on the side, as a side hustle. So I also don't want to, hurt my livelihood in any way by getting injured as I'm older. So, but I do still get out there and put up shots and, take a few runs around the court every week and, try and do that at least 2-3 times a week, keep my old ass in shape and, remind me why I still love this game, and, I still love this game enough, like, despite how the Lakers are doing, like, I'm actually really excited about the playoffs coming up. I think the playoffs this year are going to be, really filled with a lot more, parity than a lot of people understand. Like when you look at both the East and the West, top to bottom, as good as the Celtics are, as good as Denver are, they're not unbeatable. And, I think that there are, easily like 4 teams in both the East and the West that stand a good chance of winning a championship this year. So, it's going to be really interesting. It's going to be fun. And, hopefully Boston doesn't get 18, but, we also have to prepare for that kind of stuff. And, I think a lot of Laker fans get so worked up about that. And, I've seen so many already worrying about 18, but like, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. We'll put the hexes on Boston when we need to, but hopefully it's us in the finals against them and we can, settle this ourselves head to head, mano a mano. That's what we want. So anyway, that brings me on to my, last topic here tonight. Just 12 games left, so no more fucking around. No more fucking around at all. Like Austin Reeves came out in a press conference a couple days ago talking about how they needed to start stringing some wins together and, how these last few should be must wins. And I absolutely agree with him. Like we need every fucking one of these games. We need to get out of the 9th and 10th spots at the very least. We did move up a half a game because it's a night's game, thankfully. We're in 9th place currently, 2.5 games out of 8th, 3 games out of 6th, unfortunately, and 5 games out of 5th. So like, 5th that's fantasy land. That's not happening. We're not getting there to 5th. And even 6th that's a tall task. We need to win every one of these games and, hope for some help from others. So, but if we do win out, we do stand a chance of possibly getting that 6th spot, but we're going to have to win out, I think. But preferably if we can get to that 8th spot, because, at least that way we only have to play one, play-in game as opposed to 2. So we'll see. But just 12 games. So it's crunch time. It is crunch time. And, like I said, I think the playoffs are going to be fun this season, regardless, of how we do. But I still feel that like if we can somehow get Vando back and, have Gabe in here as insurance. Well, although I feel like I don't know necessarily how much Gabe really helps us at this point because Spencer is going to steal those minutes anyway. So yeah. But getting Vando back, getting Christian Wood back, I do like our chances, a little better. Ideally, it would be nice if we could get Vando back, like with like 2-3 regular season games to go, so he can maybe get a little bit of run before a playoff game. But we may not be that lucky, and it may not even be till into the first round or even in the second round that we get him back. But we'll have to just keep our fingers crossed and hope that works out, because I believe he's a big difference maker for us. And if we have him, I think that we can make some real noise in this playoffs again this year. And now whether or not we can beat Denver, that's probably still a tough task. Like, I don't want to go that far and say that we could do that right now, but like, the potential is there. So that's the tough thing also, that like, about these expectations, is that like, can't get them too high. So I got to remember the title of my own show here. Got to keep these expectations low. So I don't want to get too freaking excited here, but only 12 of these games to go. And, and seriously, if they don't get their shit together and they end up in the 9th or 10th spot, it could be one and done, so we gotta take that into account. Like, it could be just like, disappointing, college basketball kind of into the season of just, like how my Lobos had to end their season today. That was disappointing. So, but anyway, it is what it is. I think we're gonna kind of keep it short this week. Was about all I wanted to cover. And even though we had 5 games last week, there's not a whole lot to talk about until we get down here into the playoffs and get down here in crunch time, and hopefully get Vando back. That makes for things be a little bit more interesting. And hopefully we can get into the playoffs, and I'll try and have more regular playoff coverage when we get into the playoffs, fingers crossed. But as we sit here in 9th place, we just have to keep grinding. So anyway, if that means anything, I guess it just means one thing.
It's time for historical
Yes, it is time. It is time for another historical stoner circle. So now imagine me and 3 famous people from history. I've picked 3 famous musicians tonight because I love music, if you haven't noticed. But I'd love to have a little historical stoner. But imagine, sorry, get ahead of myself here, like rambling. Imagine me with 3 people sitting around, passing the bowl, just talking all kinds of stuff about anything from bullshit to life. So my 3 for today are Bootsy Collins, Jimi Hendrix, and Mark Mothersbaugh. Because three musicians that I respect greatly, that I could have an incredible conversation with, and just, yeah, I feel like I could have hours and hours of fun just picking their brain, talking to them about music and so many other things and life, and just, yeah. So that's the vibe. And I guess that's about it for this week. We've got, like I said, 12 games left. You've got 4 games this coming week. So, back to, the grind, no big long wait like this past week. So um, let's get back to it, Laker Nation, and hope everybody's good, and peace out and stay zooted.
In the history of mankind, men have been called out and written up millions of times over. But only one man was written up for, and I quote, making barnyard noises and wouldn't stop. Rest in power, my friend. Washiko.